Here's some quick updates on the AMC short interest that we're seeing, and also some institutions that are still buying and holding AMC. Make sure to like the video, subscribe if you're new, hit the notification bell so you never miss a new video like this. Check out our WeBull link if you guys want to pick up some free stocks of WeBull, and check out our Patreon link if you guys want to join our private Discord. But other than that, guys, let's get right into this video. Alrighty guys, here we are with AMC Entertainment Holdings, currently sitting at about $54.06. Again, that's the last trading day session that we're seeing right here on the screen, which of course was June 15th, which was last Friday. Today, of course, is Sunday, June 27th. Markets do, of course, open tomorrow, and we will be keeping a close watch on AMC. But let's get into what I really want to talk about in this video today, which is the overall short interest, and we're going to be talking about some institutions that are holding, as well as some technical analysis here in the later part of the video, so make sure you don't miss that. Let's get into the short interest here. Here we are on Fintel. Overall short volume still 20%. And the thing about Fintel, unfortunately, that I don't really like is that, of course, you need a subscription to see a lot of the metrics that one would want to see. I mean, we're still getting, overall AMC short volume ratio, we're getting some other numbers like that, but instead, we're going to go to shortsqueeze.com, where we get much better data, in my opinion, much better, much more fleshed out data. And here you can see here that we have, short squeeze ranking, short squeeze interest ratio, sorry, short percent of float. We're still sitting at about 17.02%. So keep that in mind, obviously. There is still potential for a short squeeze, but obviously that's a strange amount, a decrease, if you will, from what we've seen in previous levels. And you can actually see here that shortsqueeze.com lists the short percent increase and decrease. We're seeing a negative 17%, which is about 7 million essentially when you compare it to the actual numbers. Really interesting stuff here. Why did that change all of a sudden happen? Well, there's a few things. We could have either some kind of whale who has a massive short position on the stock, has not covered, but may have sold out of his position at a loss. And we may have some other people who are either just, there might be some market manipulation going on, of course, that the hedge funds might be pushing forward. There's a lot of theories behind this, but this is something to watch because that's a large amount of short volume that all of a sudden has just kind of ceased to exist. And it's interesting to kind of wonder, or I wonder, I'm sure all of you are wondering as well, where did that go? What happened? Because that doesn't just, disappear out of thin air, right? Something has to happen in order for that to change. So keep a close eye on that. Keep a close eye on that number, because that number obviously can change even more. Even at the time making this video, it may have changed already. So of course, keep that in mind. I also want to go to AMC institutional ownership, because I think this is interesting, because a lot of people have been talking about how, the AMC is kind of another battleground for retail traders versus the institutions, versus hedge funds and everything. But what I find just extraordinarily interesting about AMC, and this is something I always go back to, is that there are these huge funds that we are all familiar with, that we all know who they are, that are invested in this company, that are invested and have shares in this company. Look at BlackRock. BlackRock Inc., of course, we know, huge, giant firm that does investment banking and all these other things. 5,926,000 shares, right? Vanguard, people who, these are the Vanguard people, these are the people who do the ETFs, the index funds. They're holding 7 million, okay? And yes, I agree that obviously AMC is still a heavily traded, of course heavily shorted, and lots of volume is being, AMC has been moving quite a bit. Who wouldn't want to have that in their index fund in order to get some exposure to not only more of a speculative asset, but also too, so that way you can kind of get that, I would say more volatility kind of in the index. But still, this is fascinating because I've always been a big believer in looking at what these big institutions own, because the bigger institutions that own certain stocks, it kind of gives me kind of a ring or a tell that, something might be going on here. If there are large hedge funds like BlackRock, like Vanguard, like Chase, JP Morgan, like a variety of these other different funds that are holding this stock, something might be going on. Something might be going on that we don't know about. And of course, current shares, that can mean a variety of different things. We'd have to delve a lot deeper into, of course, their filings and kind of understand like what kind of shares they're holding, if they're holding common stock, if maybe there's some kind of deal going on. There's also a variety of nuances with these, with the way a lot of these firms are holding stocks like this. And I think that's something, of course, to keep in mind. And then the rest of this course, if you want to really see, as you can see here, it's of course in some, research market, mutual fund. There's all kinds of different funds that this is in, and you can kind of just take a look at it. But again, I think it's really important to keep in mind that big firms like BlackRock or like Vanguard that are holding this stock, they're not holding it for no reason, right? They're holding it because, well, they probably like it. You know, and analysts have looked at it and looked at it as an opportunity, and they probably see some kind of opportunity here. So the apes here, again, are kind of setting trends now with larger firms. And, you know, I wouldn't even say that BlackRock and Vanguard are even hedge funds. You know, there are other type of, you know, of these firms that hold these stocks that, you know, for the most part, they're holding it for the long term, right? They're holding it because they expect an appreciated in value, you know? These aren't firms necessarily that are shorting the stock, right? We know that there are many hedge funds that are, of course, shorting the stock, but again, I don't think BlackRock and Vanguard are shorting it. Could be wrong. Correct me in the comments if I am, of course. But let's hop into the technical analysis of this video. Here we are with AMC, Thinkorswim. You guys know the deal already. As you can see here, and this is what I've been pointing out in every single one of my videos because I think it's incredibly important to notice, is that we have, I called it a bull flag pattern in the last video, but I realized that's kind of incorrect. It's actually a pennant. It's a pennant pattern. As you can see here, we hit the highs of $77.30. Then trade lower down to a low of $41, right? Go back up to a little bit of a high, go down, and now we're starting to trade tighter and tighter and tighter. Now, you could argue that volume is steadily decreasing, and that could be causing the tighter kind of pattern that we're seeing, but I would argue that it's maybe a little bit different. It might be something else, because entirely, I mean, if you look at this entirely from a technical perspective, and you draw your resistance lines, right? It's hitting those resistance lines. And now, we're getting to a very crucial point right here, where come market open, if AMC drops, we could have a potential negative breakout in the stock. That could be a negative breakout out of those resistance lanes. That might not be good, obviously. But if we open with AMC as a green day, right? If catalysts all line up, if the overall market indexes are looking good, if everything is looking good market-wise and stocks are expected to run green come market open tomorrow, we could have a possible positive breakout. Again, nothing's guaranteed. This isn't for sure. So keep that in mind, you know, leverage your risk, make sure, or manage your risk, make sure you're all right. Okay, this is not financial advice, of course, but this is just an idea that I look at for my own personal trading strategy. And when I look at this, I see a pennant pattern, right? I see a perfect little triangle, right, forming. And that triangle is getting to a tip, okay? And we've filled out that triangle almost entirely. So it either needs to, two things either need to happen. AMC either needs to break out towards the positive and continue to move upward, or it needs to break out towards the negative. One of the two needs to happen, because it's held very well. AMC has held very well at these levels, and I'm very surprised that it has done that for so long. And I'm really looking forward to whether or not it can continue to do that, or if it drops a little bit lower. Again, the apes don't care, right? The apes don't care. People don't care. People who like this stock don't care. They'll buy more if it goes red. They'll buy more if it goes green. They'll just buy. I know people who right now, I've seen people in our comments, they're buying shares of AMC every single day, whether it's green, red, they don't care about their average cost, okay? They believe in the stock. And that should tell you something. That should tell you something about this stock, because this stock, of course, is kind of a unique case, really. I mean, we haven't seen something like this since GameStop, and even GameStop is a unique case as well. But again, there are passionate people about this stock, about a lot of these stocks, right? They're very, very passionate people. And I think that is what really leads to just incredible price breakouts like we've seen before in the past. So of course, keep that in mind. RSI is sitting about the 40 level, so still relatively oversold, or getting close to being oversold. Blue line on the MACD is still well below the brown line, but if that goes to cross in the next coming trading sessions, keep that on watch. Definitely watch it. Again, this is not financial advice. We do not provide financial advice. Please do not make investment decisions based off this video. I just like giving ideas and talking and giving information. That's it. So again, guys, if you guys want to get updated on AMC all the time, we always provide updates on all kinds of different stocks. We've mostly been doing AMC recently because it seems like you guys really, really want to know just everything going on with AMC. So of course, subscribe so you never miss that. But other than that, guys, that is pretty much it for AMC. Make sure to like the video, subscribe if you're new, hit the notification bell so you never miss a new video like this. Check out our WeBull link if you guys want to pick up some free stocks with WeBull, and check out our Patreon link if you guys want to join our private Discord. But other than that, guys, that is all I have for you guys today. I'm Kyle with Finance Bro. Take it easy.